Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be a UU battle, and my opponent for this battle is going to be TheKillerNacho, once again. But this is actually the first time that I've battled him in a long time, because I think the last time I battled him was, like way back in, I think December or something, somewhere around there. He was like my second battle of the, the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon period, and, since then I haven't battled him, so it's because I've mostly been like busy. Every time he streams battles, like I'm usually not able to be there because I'm usually working and whatnot. So I finally was able to get in one of his streams, and I actually thankfully got a battle with him. And I decided to do UU because I actually finally got some teams to use in UU. As you can see, this team that I have right here is a team that's centered around Sharpedo, but it's not a team that I made, because usually when I make teams, they're usually with Pokemon that I like to use. And here, on this team, there's a number of Pokemon that I either don't care about or just don't like. Like, for example, the Tornadus, I don't dislike it, but I don't really like it either. Like, I'm kind of indifferent of using this Pokemon, so I never use it. I don't like Beware. Like, Beware's I don't know, that thing looks pretty creepy in my opinion. But, I mean, it's a pretty good mon, at least in UU, it seems. I do like Primarina. So yeah, I do like Primarina. Primarina is pretty cool. In fact, it's one of my favorite starters in the Generation 7, in all honesty. Latias, I prefer Latios in most cases, in all honesty, but this is the UU tier, and Latias is UU, so I mean, you can't use Latios in UU. So, and Sharpedo, you know Sharpedo's Sharpedo. But this is the interesting thing about the battle, though, is that we're both going to be using Sharpedo on our team, which is actually kind of, it's cool, but it's also kind of scary at the same time, because if he gets the opportunity to wither the majority of my team down, he'd be able to probably get a late game Sharpedo sweep. And he knows that I can try to do that as well, so it's only a matter of who gets it first. And we're about to find out right now if that's even going to happen or not. Because, yeah, this battle is actually, it's actually a really intense battle, let me tell you. But, here we go. The badassery that is the Snack. I'm going to lead off with Nidoking, and he's going to lead off with Infernape, which, not going to lie, this wasn't the lead I was hoping for. I was actually hoping for the Crobat lead, because whenever I use Crobat against the Snack, I always usually lead with Crobat. But here he leads with Infernape. Here what I wanted to see right out of the gate was actually if this thing was Scarf or not. I wanted to see if he'd actually think I was Scarfed, and he'd probably switch out. But he actually went for U-turn. I don't know if it's choiced or not, like choice Scarf or not, but he does go for U-turn. It does outspeed, so he probably knows I'm not choiced anymore, if it's not a Scarf variant. And he's gonna go into Crobat right here, which I predict. I was kind of like thinking, you know, if he didn't lead with Crobat, do you think he'd bring it out right here on this U-turn? And what do you know, he actually did, which is actually kind of crazy. I actually got like one sick read right there. So what I'm gonna do now is actually go straight into Primarina, because he brought back the Infernape. I just gotta hope he doesn't predict me and go for Gunk Shot. If he does, I'm screwed. Thankfully he went for the Night Daze, which is kind of interesting, because that kind of just reveals that this is definitely not the Infernape. This is the Zoroark that, believe it or not, I actually already forgot was in this battle, which is like the crazy thing right there. I go for a Hydro Pump here. He does switch in the Amoonguss, and I do miss the Hydro Pump, which is kind of lame in the sense that now I don't get any damage on this Amoonguss, but it can kind of recover it, in all honesty, just by switching out later. But here I'm going to hard switch into Tornadus. I know it's going to go for Spore, but honestly I think this Pokemon is like the more disposable one at this point, because I feel like Beware is going to definitely be necessary on the off chance I need to have it face Sharpedo. So what I'm going to do now is, after taking the Spore, I'm going to hard switch into Nidoking. I was kind of hoping he would go into the, not Sharpedo, but the Metagross, but he did not, so he just went back into Nape, and I was like, oh. So I decided to hard switch into Latias right here, and what do you know, he still had the dang, Zoroark, with this Infernape, and I was like, oh, pfft. So I just lost Latias for nothing, so this Latias literally got to do nothing in this battle, which is kind of unfortunate. But this does allow me to bring in Beware, because now I know it's a Zoroark. And now I can just go for Return, because not a whole lot on this team takes Return very well. Because this Beware is actually a Choice Banded one. And this Return is stab as fuck. Look how much this does to a Metagross, which is actually crazy, because Metagross's physical defense is actually really good, and not to mention he resists Return. So, because I saw the leftovers right here, I was thinking, is this one of those substituting freaking Metagrosses? That's why, because of that, I decided to stay in, risking the possible Zen Headbutt just to go for another Return. but he instead just goes for Stealth Rock, so I was like, oh. So maybe he doesn't have Substitute, because he's not going to have Substitute, then Rocks, and then Headbutt. That wouldn't make any sense in my opinion. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm thinking now, because he saw that I stayed in, he'll probably want to now go for the attack before I go for, get more damage on him. And seeing how he's withered down tells me that he might not even go for Substitute if he has it. So I hard switch into Sharpedo, which was a risky play, because if he went for something like Hammer Arm or Thunder Punch, I would have been toast. So here, yeah, I just go for Crunch. I was hoping it would KO, since this Sharpedo is adamant, so... Yeah, and thankfully it does KO it. I get a +1 speed, which is actually really, really good. And now here, I think is when he decides to bring out Nape. Now, Infernapes can be Scarfed, but they can also carry Mach Punch. They can be Banded and carry Mach Punch. They can be Life Orbed. So I needed to see what moves does this thing carry. I wanted he goes for Mach Punch. I went for Protect, obviously, just to see if he carries the Mach Punch, because if he doesn't carry Mach Punch and I get +2 speed, I definitely outspeed this and can just Mega Evolve. But because he went for Mach Punch, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna want to stay in. And here, I was actually just afraid that he'd double or something, but thankfully he didn't. He actually stayed in and went for another Mach Punch. This allows me to burn some turns of sleep with this Tornadus, because if I can wake up with this Tornadus, he doesn't really have a lot of switch-ins now that his Metagross is down. He's gonna actually make a risky play himself and actually hard switch into Sharpedo. Well, yeah. I stayed in just because I needed to burn some turns of sleep. He goes for Protect, which is... I kind of expected that, but what I want to do right now is just burn turns of sleep, so... Yeah, I'm trying to wake up right here. Now, what I wanted to do right here was actually go for a Tailwind. But because because I couldn't freaking wake up, because he got 3 turns of freaking sleep right here, I couldn't do anything. And the Sharpedo is just gonna Ice Fang me, unfortunately. So I'm gonna lose Tornadus here, which really, really sucks. And seeing how he's preserving Sharpedo so that he can Mega Evolve later, tells me that, yeah, he's probably trying to get that sweep right at this point, right about this point. He just wants to get sufficient speed to make sure that he can outspeed everything on my team. But because I brought in Beware, I was confident that I can definitely take any hit from the Sharpedo. Because Bewares are not known for being KO'd one shot by Sharpedo, in all honesty, unless +2 has been passed to him. And even then, it doesn't KO, let's be real here. Thankfully, he goes for Waterfall. He doesn't seem to have Psychic Fangs, in all honesty, so I was just like, oh, that's good, actually, because now I can actually just return this thing, and yeah, it's gonna one-shot Sharpedo, because this Beware is Choice Banded, and return is Stab on Beware, and I think Beware's attack stat is relatively high, so I was confident it was gonna take out the Sharpedo. I just needed to make sure I live the Psychic Fangs and not get, like, critical hit or something. So thankfully I did get to take out the Sharpedo, so that means no Sharpedo sweep from him, thankfully. So now I just have to deal with his Amoonguss. I go for Return. He's gonna go for Spore just to put me to sleep. I decide to stay in and just see if I can burn more turns, and maybe he'll want to switch out or something. But he seems to just stay in here for some reason. He's gonna go for Synthesis, get his HP back. I cannot switch out, in all honesty, because the only Pokemon that I have left right now is Sharpedo, which is frail against this Amoonguss. I have Primarina, which can't really do much to the Amoonguss, and on top of that, it's freaking it can go for Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain. Like, Primarina is not safe just switching in on the Amoonguss, so I had to definitely just stay in here. Burn turns of sleep. I wanted to see what his tendencies were with this Amoonguss too, so that's why I stayed in. I wanted to see what he'd do if he does not switch out. He just went for a couple, like a Giga Drain and then like more Synthesises, so I was just like, So I just went for another Return after finally waking up right here, and now I think here's where I decide to I just spam Return here, in all honesty, because he goes for another Synthesis. So I was thinking, okay, so it seems like after going for another Synthesis, I was thinking, you know what, I don't think he's gonna switch out, in all honesty. So I just went for another Return right here, just to put it back at where it was, at below half. I am now aware he's gonna go for Spore. He does not seem to have like hidden power fire or anything, so what I do right here is actually hard switch straight into Nidoking, and the reason why was because if I can let my Beware be asleep like this, it's already weakened, so I don't think it's going to be able to do much after I do take out this Amoonguss somehow. So I was thinking, let's preserve it since it's asleep, and now I can't put my my Nidoking to sleep because this is Smogon rules that we're following here in this battle. So he's going to go for the Synthesis, which is thankfully what I predicted, and I don't think Giga Drain would have KO'd my Nidoking anyways. So what I do here is actually go for Sludge Wave. He switches out, probably because he thought I was going to go for an Ice Beam, and he was hoping that the Zoroark can just come in here and hit me with a Specs Night Days. Because, yeah, I'm confident that this Zoroark is Specs at this point, honestly. So here, I'm just going to go for Sludge Wave. I was afraid of a switch. That's why I went for Sludge Wave over Ice Beam towards the Amoonguss, because I was afraid he'd switch out. He now goes into Infernape, which is his second to last Pokemon. I decided to preserve Nidoking here, just in case I can be able to use it later. And here I go into Beware, just to see what move it wants to go for now. He has Fire Punch, which was definitely not a move I was expecting on this Infernape, in all honesty. Just because most Infernapes carry Flare Blitz nowadays, just for the power and whatnot. So here, this was actually a really tight situation right here. I still wasn't sure if this what's it called, Infernape was Choice Scarfed or Choice Banded. I think at this point I was aware that it was choiced in some way. So here I decided to just stay in and go for Crunch. He does stay in and does outspeed me naturally. And I went for the Psychic Fangs. It does not KO the Infernape, unfortunately. And here, because I wasn't sure if this thing was Scarfed or not, I went for another Protect right here as he switched into Amoonguss. I wasn't expecting him to switch at this point, in all honesty, but he actually did. So, unfortunately, my Sharpedo is going to once again miss out on another KO just because, I don't know, I guess I wasn't really good at using it or something. But yeah, so had I gone for another Psychic Fangs there, I would have been able to at least take out the Amoonguss. Because if he switched it in right here, I would have just been able to take it out with another Crunch or something. He'd finish off my Sharpedo with Mach Punch, but then either Nidoking or Primarina could have taken it out afterwards. So yeah, it does live, the Psychic Fangs, as you can see, the Amoonguss. But thankfully, he actually just goes for the Giga Drain and not the Spore. Because honestly, if he went for Spore, I could have been in a much tighter situation, in all honesty. So, yeah. He takes out my Sharpedo. So none of us got a Sharpedo Sweep, which is actually kind of interesting. And here I'm just going to bring in Nidoking, go for Sludge Wave, and take this thing out. So, yeah. And here, now he's going to bring in Infernape. I wanted to see if... I was thinking maybe I could live this. But at the same time, I was thinking that maybe it's boosted by Torrent, this move, the Fire Punch. So I was thinking, nah, maybe not. I would not be able to take it out, in all honesty. So, yeah. And as you can see, I was not able to take the Fire Punch because... it could be Choice Banded. I don't know if it was Scarfed or not, or Choice Banded, but it was boosted by Torrent nonetheless, so I might not have been able to take it anyways. So here, I was just hoping that with Primarina, I would be able to take the Fire Punch, because now it's confirmed that it's Choice. I just don't know if it's Scarfed or Banded, in all honesty. But yeah, I do survive the Fire Punch, thankfully. I thought I was not going to be able to survive it, in all honesty. And I am able to take out the Infernape with a Moonblast from Primarina, which is kind of interesting. Primarina actually got to do something, and I think this is like the first time I ever used it. Well, at least in a Wi-Fi battle, because I have used it in the past, like when Sun and Moon came out. I made a team with Primarina in it, and I did use it quite a lot in battles. But once Sharpedo came about, I was just using nothing but Sharpedo. So that's kind of why I haven't been using Primarina very often. It's just because if I pair Sharpedo with Primarina, I feel like I have an electrical weakness, and that's not what I want, in all honesty. But yeah, it's kind of cool that Primarina got to do something. But as you can see, oh boy, this was one hell of an intense battle right here. Good game to TheKillerNacho. That was actually a really, really good battle. I think I have to re-record this battle like live in case more patches come in. I'm forced to delete these battles because honestly, these battles are really, really good, and I don't want to have to like lose them for good and whatnot just thanks to these dumbass patches. But anyways, yeah, thank you all for watching. Good game once again. To the snack. We're definitely gonna battle again if I actually get the opportunity to, whatnot. If I'm not busy and all that. And yeah, so damn though, none of us got that Sharpedo, so which is like crazy. I was thinking that one of us would get it, but nope. Alas. Not gonna lie, he did get a lot of RNG in his favor with those sleeping moves though, which is like crazy. But this battle was hella close, and it was a really, really good battle. So, once again, good game to the snack. Thank you all for watching once again. I think I said this like twice already. I'm repeating myself, but yeah, whatever. Take it easy. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below if you guys want to, and I'll catch you guys later.